Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of ECU where there's been a new academic loan scholarship program aimed at supporting community college students pursuing high-need health sciences degrees in Eastern North Carolina. Now the program provides $5,000 in financial assistance and requires a 1-year full-time work commitment with ECU Health following graduation. Now the scholarship was created to address workforce shortages in allied health and nursing roles across the region. Now, ECU Health Human Resources Center of Excellence Vice President Josh Crocker said the program targets specific positions within the health system. He said, quote, "For instance, roles in our allied health programs, physical therapy assistant, occupational therapy assistant, respiratory care, and surgical technologies, they will have a 1-year commitment to work at ECU Health," end quote. Now, Crocker said the program was built with workforce development and talent acquisition teams and that funding goes directly to the students. He went on to say, quote, "The goal is to eliminate the financial burden for students here in Eastern North Carolina. We're really focused on roles vital to the care of the population here and to advance the mission of health and well-being for Eastern North Carolina," end quote. Now, ECU Health has allocated $165,000 for the program, allowing for 33 scholarships. Multiple community colleges in ENC are participating partners. Applications are open through May 22nd. And now we want to turn our attention to the State of the Union address that aired last night. NBC's Garrett Hake has more on the highlights from last night's speech.
President Trump entering the House chamber with a roar from Republicans and silence and empty seats on the Democratic side for the first State of the Union of his second term.
Our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
The president using his nearly 2-hour speech to highlight successes of his first year, touting falling gas prices and a rising stock market.
A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world.
With 4 Supreme Court justices sitting just feet away, the president briefly criticizing the court's ruling against his sweeping tariff program, days after calling some of the justices, quote, disloyal to the Constitution.
An unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court.
But vowing to move ahead with new tariffs, the bulk of which will be paid by U.S. companies.
I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern-day system of income tax.
The president repeatedly taking swipes at Democrats.
These people are crazy.
And trying to put them on defense over affordability.
They just used it. Somebody gave it to them, knowing full well that they caused and created the increased prices.
The president also focusing on immigration, even attempting to goad Democrats into standing up and clapping.
To agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up.
The official Democratic response coming from newly elected Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger.
The president did what he always does. He lied, he scapegoated, and he distracted.
The president also pushing foreign policy late in his remarks, saying he preferred a diplomatic solution to the ongoing standoff with Iran, but will not allow the regime to acquire a nuclear weapon.
They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon.
The biggest bipartisan cheers of the night coming for the gold medal winning U.S. Olympic hockey team.
Here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team.
Mr. Trump adding that he plans to present goalie Connor Hellebuck with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and later awarding 2 medals of honor to military aviators of different eras. A helicopter pilot wounded in the recent raid to capture Nicolas Maduro, and a Korean War fighter pilot.
And again, that was Garrett Hake reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast. Cloud cover today is going to extend into tomorrow as well as Friday. Not going to be seeing too much of the sun, if any of the sun, here over the next, really give it around 2.5 days. The rest of today, kind of halfway through it at this point, and then tomorrow as well as Friday. In fact, we may still end up waking up to some raindrops along the coast as we head into your Saturday morning. So that's certainly something we are going to be paying close attention to. Let's take a look at what we've got right now out across eastern North Carolina. And again, cloud cover right now is trying to pull its way out into the Atlantic. It's struggling to do so. And in fact, we've got more cloud cover right now down over northern Georgia and moving into kind of the northwestern corner there of South Carolina. Those clouds will be with us later on tonight. But again, we could potentially see maybe a stray sunbreak or two as we head through the next few hours. Not going to be a lot, but we'll take what we can get. We'll take what we can get. What we're not getting right now, though, is rain. Raindrops happened a little earlier today, but because of our dry air mass, we really didn't see much, if any of those drops actually make it to the ground. Here's a look at your sanitary restaurant cam overlooking the Intracoastal Waterway in Morehead City. Currently 54 degrees with a southwesterly wind at 30 miles an hour. Those are sustained winds. It is a very windy day throughout eastern North Carolina, more so along the coast and for inland areas. But that wind has brought our air temperatures up. A southwesterly breeze usually does a pretty good job of keeping warm air flowing into eastern North Carolina. And well, here we are, mid to upper 50s with a few of us breaking into the low 60s. Now, again, I think we'll get maybe a degree or two warmer than where we're at right now thanks to this southwesterly wind flow. Again, note that inland wind speeds between around 10 to 20 miles per hour get a little bit higher as you get closer to the coast, looking more at around a 20 to 30 mile per hour sustained breeze for those of you watching along the immediate coastline. For the rest of this afternoon, air temperatures will slowly start to fall as we head towards 5, 6, and 7 p.m. Cloud cover will stick around overnight tonight, as will the southwesterly winds, and that will keep our air temperatures from falling too far overnight tonight, only dropping down to the low 50s by tomorrow morning. And from there, we warm up into the mid 50s by lunchtime. Another opportunity for the low 60s tomorrow afternoon. But the big difference between today and tomorrow, that will be the rain showers. Raindrops will be rolling across eastern North Carolina as we head through the day tomorrow. Early on in the day, a lot of those raindrops are going to be set up around the North Carolina-Virginia line. From there, that line shifts its way southward across the east, giving everybody an opportunity for raindrops tomorrow. Everyone's going to get some. I think most areas are likely going to see about a ½ inch of rain by the time all is said and done. But we've got another round of rain coming in on Friday that again will start out our Friday a little bit damp. We'll see a little break in those rain showers, and then we can see a little bit more try to show up late Friday night into Saturday. For now, Sunday is looking dry, sunny, and warm. 65 degrees Saturday turns to 75 on Sunday. And then we see air temperatures tumble back down into the low 50s for Monday and Tuesday of next week before we warm back up to the low to mid 60s by Wednesday and Thursday. Well, that's all we have time for today's 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday.